52,000 people die from a traumatic brain injury each year. There are over 200 diagnosed concussions in all of last year in the NFL, including preseason, practice, regular season, postseason, and that's all the seasons they have. Dozens of retired football players have shot themselves in the chest, committing suicides. That way their brain can be used for research after death, because they were suspected of having CTE, which is a brain, like it's a growth of proteins in your brain that causes anger, like rage, depression, all these things that most of them couldn't cope with and caused suicide. The NFL just finished a lawsuit giving almost $1 billion to retired players and families because they were hiding the dangers of concussions. The advances in the sport start with the NFL and trickle down from there, yet none have been made towards the brain. People try to get the biggest hits, so they run full speed right at another player, just dipping their head and almost breaking their neck every time. But they think it's a big hit, so they continue to try, which is very dangerous and costly. Some of the most popular helmets like Revo Speed, Revo Air, the Speed Robot, all of these are actually very minuscule in helping with concussions. Even the best ones are only 20% effective, which is not enough to protect such a sensitive object. Wide receivers are very susceptible to concussions because of their dangerous routes, just running across the middle of the field, leaving them open to defenders to come and hit them while they're reaching for the ball. All of these are effects of concussions, or cause concussions. Some solutions are making it illegal to lead with your head, which they've tried to do the past few years, but it's still just something that you're gonna have to work on in the future. We need to start actually making helmets that actually protect the helmet, or protect the head. More than 20% is definitely needed if we're going to continue making this such a popular sport. And the wide receiver can't really be helped any more than the penalties and the helmets because of these routes that are being ran. And no route is going to be banned just because of protection, no matter how costly it could be. People being aware of what's going on and teaching those who don't is really effective in what we can do to solve this problem. We also need to make sure that the parents and coaches of younger kids teach them the correct way to tackle and not lead with their heads, so that way people start young doing the correct things instead of going at it just crazy, trying to do what they see their favorite players doing. The crushing blows NFL players take are taking a serious toll on their mental health and need all the help they can get. A few years ago, a Kansas City Chiefs player killed his girlfriend, went to the Arrowhead Stadium, killed himself, and the team decided to play the game the next day. They had the option to sit out because of how gruesome and serious this was, or they had the option to go play the game. They decided to play the game, but my question to you is, what would you have done? If you knew everything that can happen to the brain, they knew the seriousness of what was happening, like this man killed himself because of his depression and anger, and he just couldn't live with himself knowing of all the dangers that happened to him. So would you guys go out and play the game? That's it.